Hello, I'm Ben and I'm an acupuncturist. A couple of weeks ago I posted a video about common questions get asked as an acupuncturist. How does acupuncture work and does acupuncture work? So if you've not seen those videos, just go back, have a look at those, might find them of some interest. Today I'm going to talk about another really commonly asked question, which is, what are the needles like? Does it hurt when you get acupuncture? So I have some needles here that commonly used in an acupuncture session. They come in a packet of 5. They come sealed, clinically hygienic, and this is kind of a regular size that we'd use. So I open up the packet and get one of them out. We can just have a look at how fine, how short that needle is. Not all of the needle goes in, it's maybe about 1 millimetre or so. Can be up to kind of half centimetre if we're dealing with muscle tissue and you need to go a bit deeper. You can get longer needles up to about 7 centimetres if you're dealing with quite fleshy areas like the backside, for instance. But they're incredibly fine. This one here is 0.25 of a millimetre thick. They go to 0.16 of a millimetre in thickness as well for finer areas, wrists and face, for instance. And some of the longer ones can be up to 0.3 of a millimetre. So they're all very fine. So we've got the needle here. What happens when it goes in? Well, we need this little guide tube. It's just a little plastic tube that we use to insert the needle in, and then quite simply pop the needle into position. The needle itself is slightly longer than the guide tube. We give it a tap and there it is, it's in. So we might want to manipulate it a little bit. Sometimes when we're needling we might try and elicit some sort of a response from the needle, other times we'll just leave it totally alone. Generally any sensation you get is going to last a few seconds and then tail off. Sometimes whilst the needles are in you can feel a dull ache or a numbness, but it's not an unpleasant sensation. It's a perfectly relaxing situation. In fact, some patients often comment on how relaxed they feel having a load of needles poked out of them for 20 minutes or so. So when we want to take the needle out, we simply use a cotton bud. It's a bit tricky because I've only got one hand here, but we'd rest the cotton bud on the side and then lift the needle out, just in case there's any tiny spot of blood or anything like that. If so, the cotton bud goes into the clinical waste bin along with the needle itself, and that gets disposed of by a clinical waste company. So it's as simple as that. It's really straightforward. Sometimes we might use kind of 6, 10, sometimes more needles. Obviously that's a conversation that we'd have with you as a patient as to whether or not you are happy to have lots of needles or no needles, or a few needles. Because I do a lot of massage, it means we've got the option to deal with the problem without actually using any acupuncture at all. We can use acupressure, we can use massage to deal with any particular issue. Those that are a bit more easy with needles, no problem at all. We can pop them in, we leave them in for about 20 minutes, pop them out again. It might be that we do a bit of palpation, a bit of stretch. If it's a mechanical issue, sometimes stretch after the needles have been in can be really helpful. And then send you on your way, hopefully feeling a lot better. And usually sessions, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 sessions, depending on what it is you're coming in for. And each time we might slightly change the position of where the needles go, or we may just repeat the treatment if it's being effective. So I hope that helps dispel some of the myths about acupuncture needles. They are quite short, they're really fine. Doesn't hurt when they go in. You might get a sensation, but other than that, it's generally quite a pleasant experience. So, as ever, just ask you to visit my blog at benelliott.co.uk/blog if you're interested in how acupuncture works for specific conditions, alongside information on massage and various other things. So if you've got an interest in acupuncture, if you're an acupuncture student, visit the site benelliott.co.uk/blog. And I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you. Bye.